Part 2 on that playthrough. Let's make some content. I have about 4 minutes before we need to go out. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna have a little time on the lake shore, and then there's gonna be a lot of things to take care of. But at the same time, fuck, I love life. So we're good. Let's go. I believe in love. I'm so entertained. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va bien?
Oui, ça va bien.
Il fait chaud.
Tu es tout seul?
Non,
Avec qui?
maman.
Ah,
Oui.
ta mère dans sa chambre?
Non, des fois elle vient, des fois elle vient pas.
Hein?
Des fois elle est là, des fois elle est pas là.
Elle n'est pas ici.
Pas aujourd'hui.
Pas aujourd'hui.
Non.
Ah.
Demain, oui.
Ah,
Il fait chaud.
oui. Est-ce que tu es étudiant?
Oui.
Ah.
Oui.
Université?
Non, cégep.
Ah,
Psychologie.
cégep.
Psychologie.
Ah,
Ça va bien, vous?
oui, ça va bien.
Good, good. La santé?
Oui.
Good. C'est des nouveaux voisins?
Nouveau voisin?
Oui. Aujourd'hui?
Oh oui.
Oui.
Oh,
Bonne soirée.
bonne soirée.
Merci. What a lovely lady. What a lovely lady. Good. She's asking me if I live alone because I talk alone. No. This is really good. Though, in case you're wondering, welcome to the Qatar show. You missed a lovely conversation with my neighbor. At least I got it here. That was lovely. Don't in case you're wondering, welcome to the Qatar show. This is Muhammad because I'm having a wonderful 30th of May 2025. We're about to be doing a small but very complete video of making content. We're going to be talking about season 10. Now, I do want to apologize for the season 10 fail. What ended up happening is Netflix was down. So I thought for the longest time that we didn't have Children of Our Boys anymore. No. Netflix was down. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have that much time because my father called me this morning for help. And I left about my father, but I slept later. Which means we woke up later. And it wasn't easy. I forgot to do myself a water. Give me a sec. There you go. See, I don't fucking like that. TikTok's always starting for no reason. I didn't tell TikTok to start. I'm out there. That's how they get inflated views because people are not there. So yeah, we had TikTok and we had Twitter for Boys, and I couldn't find the file. So then the problem that I did was I tried so hard to be on the computer, and I thought the computer was having a problem. But then I switched to the phone, and I went to Netflix on the phone, and it wasn't working either. So we're having Pink Lemonade, Crystal Light. I'm gonna restart from zero. The Children of Our Boys season 10. Oh, amazing season. Completely different from the next season 9. Completely different from season 8. Better than season 8, better than season 9. And it's really, really, really good. There's a lot of things that I don't like, but one thing that I do like, and again, season 10 I was a bit harsh with it. I was a bit harsh with it because of the Gerard Haffant, the Ben Benson, the Snoop Dogg, and the Tom Arnold. that took a lot of place. But honestly, great season. A lot of laugh. I laughed really hard. Some of the fucked up moments, and yes, there's some cringe moments compared to season 9. There's not that many of them. So without further ado, let's get right into the review. I like doing that. I like saying this. Now, okay, good. All I have to do is this, and Netflix will work. I don't know why it wasn't working though. It was down for some reason, and it's funny because so how can I say this? It was on for a certain amount of minutes, and when it was finally up, my show started. So we have season 10, 11, episode 1, Freedom 45. This is really cool. We're having a Sunnyvale Trailer Park Boy, which is finally owned by Julian. And it's funny because I don't remember who owned the park in season 8. I don't remember. But this is the time that Julian owns the park, so they can do whatever the fuck they want, which is Moneyvale, which is super cool. The whole season is great because we do have the park in Julian care. So we start with a very cool thing of and this is the intro of season 1 of season 10 is actually quite cool because you got Randy, who was a park supervisor. Finally, with for Julian. You got Swerna coming in, and the funny thing is Ricky is like, oh, just leave the park, just leave the park, just leave the park. Now the kind of the problem with that is we don't know why they're so bad at the trailer park. They're so bad at the camera crew, right? Now, why is that a problem? Because it was possibly said in their Swernet exclusive. So you have to be part of a subscription for what happened to be able to watch another subscription. It's good. Monica is so nice. She's so nice. Okay. We have Julian with his 2 girlfriends owning the park. We got Reggie and Ricky. All of them are pissed off. We got Ricky finally having his drugstore. I thought his drugstore was season 8, but it was in season 10. Season 10 is just so well made. It's just so well made. They really took the time to do it. Season 8, I felt like they were looking at it too big. Season 9, they were trying to do something that people find servicing. Season 10, they were just like, fuck you. And there's so many things. So, for example, season 10, we're 5 minutes in, and we get the situation of what happened to Randy Jr. The fact that he left, we have already noise complaints, which is the relationship, the beginning of the relationship between Ted and Randy, which is freaking hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious because you see Leahy and Randy, like, okay, well, it makes sense, they're both fucked. You see Ted and Randy, and it's like, Randy got something special, dude. Randy's got something special. We have Julian in the bar, J-Rock at the Shiprock. Julian has a country bar for some reason. Everybody's there, everybody's happy. They're celebrating Film 45, and Bubbles like, no, this is our dream with Ricky. With Trinity having a baby, Lucy has baby fever and she wants to be having a baby also. So right now, him and Lucy are really going at it, which is our 3 main characters. So Ricky does some mushroom, which transforms him. Lucy gets really mad at him. We have Baby Mo, and the cool thing with Baby Mo is, so this is gonna be kind of tricky. So the cool thing with Baby Mo is by the scene the age of the baby will change really quickly. The way it looks at 3 months versus a year is very different. So you gotta see how long it's been since they start filming. It's not that long. We got Ricky with his drugstore. That is so fucking nice because Ricky is a fuck up, right? But he finally something doing something that he like, finally doing something that he cares about, and it's kind of cool because he has And then product for every single member of the park. You have a muscle drink for Julian. He has a gummy worm for Bubbles. He has a bubble tea for tea. A bubble tea for tea. That's pretty cool. You got Jacob, which is really nice because Jacob having this confessional. I think this was the first confessional of Jacob. And he said, "Oh well, I have 4 jobs. Ricky said I need to pay for the wedding," which doesn't serve a purpose. It's just Ricky being hard on Jacob. However, it does serve a purpose when you think about, well, the wedding is still going on. I want to also talk about how the episodes are 26 minutes. That's also very good. You got Ricky being a great grandfather. Now, the funny thing is, it's not about motel, about drugs, but he's been a great grandfather. You got Bubbles and Randy were pissed at each other because Randy got everything that Bubble was selling because of the Eon, which is super nice. Then we got Bubbles, and Bubble is doing so freaking well, which we love. Bubble is, oh man, I love this. Look at this. I'm just gonna be listening, make you guys listen to it because it's so funny.
No time tying up the dog. Fucking arsehole, you can't focus on that shit. There's too many good things happening. The car business is gonna start booming again. Feel it in my bones. America's gonna get hot, and I'll be selling these silver pictures. Back to fence. Oh yeah. Rats, not the first thing very here. What the fight contest in the league. What $10,000 grand prize. Lost my win. I think there's meeting agents. Maybe going over to circuit. That's a big deal, obviously. My wife. Talking around strange and like I don't ready to go alone.
This is awesome. And what I really like here is that Bubble Fun Anybody is doing what he wants. Fixing cart, which was always his passion, taking care of kitties, always did. However, we mentioned the Legional, which is the regional of the Legion. And what is actually cool is I never made the idea was fucking dumb. I never made the fact that he's actually competing in the season. It was just to show the Legion, now he's competing, which is super fucking cool. Got more of Ricky and Bubbles. Lucy saying, hey, I want to have a baby. Now, the cool thing is, again, this is what we love about Trailer Park Boys. It seems like this. The confessional. You see Bubbles in the background. I fucking love this. Yeah, that's what we want. This is the banter they have. And Lucy wanting to be pregnant is kind of not necessarily annoying, but she's asking Ricky, hey, like do this, and it's kind of annoying because Ricky kind of is a free spirit. However, it's just to make the family closer. Not Randy complaining, and Randy you feel bad about it. Randy you feel really bad about it because how can I say this? He's always treated like shit, right? We got Sarah come back, and the cool thing with Sarah is I can actually picture like Barbara having a midlife crisis, right? Donna, we don't care about her. Sarah is a good person. But the fact that she betrayed everybody was kind of shitty. She went to jail, then she come back and she's cool again. We have Ricky testing out new weed product, which is good because you got the drugstore. You got Julian with his bar. You had Ricky accident while he's banging. He's banging Lucy so hard he breaks the trailer, which is crazy because they just talk about how begging for making a baby was boring, right? So that's kind of funny. It is just some good old Trailer Park Boys. You got Bubbles again with Ricky being having arguments. And it's so fucking funny because Julian is doing customer because Ricky's banging too hard. But this is one that it's kind of fucked. It reminds you at which point the Trailer Park is fucked. We have Lucy was banging under the firefighter. So again, it's kind of cool because they all have pass, and they're finally giving giving Lucy some more lines. What is actually really cool here is a couple things. So they're giving Lucy more lines. Why is that? Am I a big fan of Lucy? I don't mind the character of Lucy. I don't think she's the worst. She's not the best, but she's not the worst. However, what is really cool is, since season 1, she didn't really have a lot to do. It's crazy how little she really told. And you just forget about it. You just feel like, wow, I didn't think that she had that much, but I still think that she had more. I'm checking my battery pack is recording. So yeah, so that being said, it's so nice. Now the bad thing is, at the end of this season, there's a whole drama with her falsely accusing Bubbles of raping her, right? And then season 11, she's not there, so she finally had what it. A lot of people said Lucy wanted to be a bigger star, right? And it's kind of complex because I do understand what I don't agree with what she's trying to do, but I understand. It's like the Seinfeld cast. George Alexander George was always seen as George Costanza. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was always seen as Elaine, and Jerry Seinfeld was always seen as Jerry Seinfeld. You know. So yeah, so it's I don't know. I have no clue. It's so sad, you know. For the people for Shipwreck Boys, it will always be seen as Ricky. Owen and Julian. Lucy will always be seen as Lucy. You think the time law school had a lot of offer for work? No. What is really cool is in season 1, if it's in episode 1, we're seeing Sarah come back, and then we're seeing Barbara and Candy. So Candy is a new character they introduced in season 10. Not my favorite, but she's not that bad. I remember not liking her at all, but she's entertaining. She's like a bad influence. Barbara's a complete bitch, right? Which is also cool because we had Sarah saying, "Hey, Barb's a bitch," and we have Donna. That's pretty much it. We have the girlfriend of Julian talking about the problem. We had in episode 1 the plot being explained, which is really fucking cool because every time they do that, and they're like, "Hey," and it's so fucking funny because Candy just wants money. Barb is like, "Yo, the contract that you signed with Leahy was wrong. It's not legal," and then she just hates Randy. It does feel good, but at the same time, it feels a bit boring because if it wasn't for Randy, Donna wouldn't have this not really plot point, but she wouldn't have that much of even have that much of a story. I don't know. It's hard. She wouldn't be important, right? So we got season 10 episode 2, we're flying through. Season episode 2, if you want my money, you can suck my cock. So everybody is worried, and once again, it's something that I really enjoy because a part of the episode is that Julian is needing money, right? And nobody helps him. And it's always the same case. Always Julian has to take care of everybody. He's like pissed. He's like, "Yo, you gotta have to pay your law fees and shit like that, right?" So that's good. Big lemonade. Crystal Lights. We have Leahy. And it's nuts because Leahy not being part of the first episode is completely crazy. Leahy was one of the most important characters. To me, it's possibly Julian, Bubble, Ricky, and then Leahy for sure. As important, but so the importance is often screen time. So Leahy was talking about it. Leahy will finally crack the code. He maintains his level at 1.12. Now it's nuts because Julian has always said that. Julian has always been like, "Hey, pace yourself. Hey, pace yourself. Hey, pace yourself." And then Lee finally does it. We have more of Steinberg trying to do a dirty contract. Steinberg kind of he is doing this Gracie shit, right? It's pretty boring. So now they're gonna do a job to get the money, right? Now I forgot the job. The job is what? I completely forgot. We got if you put the music and I'm gonna do the film, I can copyright it. the Trailer Park, you get the whole J-Rock with the accent, which again is so fucking boring. So you have him return, he has a new girlfriend. Now, the J-Rock, the whole thing, it's super boring, but it leads to some point. I'm gonna spoil it right now for you guys. This is much later on, but it gets spoiled in so J-Rock, he found this girl, right? And MC's like, yo, he chose her over me. Like, nah, he's trying to get you a healthy environment to live in, right? He's trying to help you out, and you feel bad for J-Rock because his mom, she didn't have a father, so he's trying to give that to MC Fleury, right? It's kind of cool, but the Spanish accent sucks. Got MC Fleury who misses his father. You got Randy asking for loss fees, and Ricky saying you can suck my cock. What else? See, this one actually pretty good. It's a pretty good season. You can tell it's easier. Like season 8, season 9, wasn't having a hard time. Season 10 is actually pretty good. Season 11 is also pretty fucking good. Season 11 problem is Leahy because he's too much of Leahy. Season 12 is perfection. So you got Julian asking for Randy to collect loss fees, and he gives a hug to Julian. You got Leahy who's working and getting some journal, which is really cool because he's retired. A lot of retired people are gonna be working small jobs. So Leahy's doing this, he's happy. He's starting pacing himself with alcohol. He has taken over alcohol. And the funniest thing he says in this one, I don't know, I'm not a drinker, so maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But he says, I am sober enough to know what I'm doing, and drunk enough to be having fun doing it. So that, it really rang a bell. Well, it didn't really ring a bell to me, but it really like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. I kind of fuck with that, right? You got the girls going to Leahy and saying, hey, we need your help. And Leahy doesn't want to help them because it's kind of complex because Leahy doesn't do it to help the boys. Just stay out of shit, right? And it's nice because Leahy kind of moved out of Sunnyvale. So it's not like it goes back to season 5, episode 6. We can coexist. Dumped on the shit line and we're good. Right? Which is something we saw. You got the girls kind of being mad with Julian because they're not fucking them. Which is, again, the harem pimp. Bubble says, hey, if you need some help. Bubble's like, hey, if you need some help, I'm there. And people are telling him that you can handle it. So this actually serves no fucking purpose. The fact that people said to Bubble you can handle it serves no fucking purpose. You're just making fun of Bubbles in a good way. However, when Bubble is being called a nerd, and this season, like, okay, well, people are really messing with Bubbles, you know? So you got this, you got that. We got people that are getting the lofties. Marguerite said, I'll fuck you off, but you don't give me the, what should I call it? You don't give me the problems. She takes a nail clipper and she's drinking it. Ricky is fixing his trailer, and then Bubble asks him, am I a nerd? Right? He's like, no, you're not a nerd, you're a cool guy. And he tells, and that's the cool way. Bubble asked Julian, do I look like a nerd? And Bubble said, no, and Julian said, no, you're a cool guy. And he asked Ricky, and Ricky tells him the truth. He said, yeah, you look like a nerd, but you're a cool guy. So it's kind of cool. So we got to Barbara, Donna, and Candy, BDC, who takes over, what should I call it? He takes over the trailer of Leahy. We got Ricky asking for money for Randy. Now this is a cool part, but this is not like a weird part. So Randy says, hey, you owe us some money, Ricky. And Ricky's like, no, I'm best friend with the fucking owner. Suck my cock. And then Julian's like, yo, you owe us money, you do. And Julian's kind of right. Julian's kind of right in the fact that Ricky owe him money because he doesn't pay his rent fees. And Julian never gave a fuck because he wasn't the park owner, but now as the park owner, everybody has to give out rent, right? Now the problem is it could be seen as, well, Ricky, now that Ricky has money, we're gonna tax him. That's pretty much it. Not the most interesting stuff, but still, got more fighting with Ricky, and it's funny because in this one, when Ricky comes in to fight Randy, the first thing that Ricky does is he takes Randy's pants and pulls them off, which is, we know it's a secret weapon. So we have this, we have MC Fleury studying, and this is cool because him studying is, so this is really good writing actually. Season 9 was all about Flea Flurry accepting J-Rock as a dad. Now, what it is to be a dad. So when he does his homework, J-Rock has to make sure that he's doing the homework. Lucy is banged up, and Ricky tells her that he's afraid that kids, and she's like, I'm afraid too, we can be afraid together, right? And this is the coolest thing because this is Lucy being understanding of Ricky. This is the coolest thing. And that's pretty much it. So then Julian is freaking out. He said nobody can drink for free anymore, no more tabs. The problem is Julian wasn't paying people. So he wasn't paying people, they were taking part of the park. He wouldn't pay them, but when he goes to this bar, they would drink for free. So it was like an agreement, but he doesn't respect it. Bubble is sad because him and Ricky are fighting. Julian is seeing how much bills we have. Jerk asking, hey, I need some cash, can we do a job, right? So everybody's starting to talk about a job, and Julian's like, yo, I want to own a business. And the coolest thing about that was the whole time, Bubble always had this, I want to have my own business, I want to have a legit business and don't do crimes. And then at Freedom 45, Julian realized that Bubble was right all along, right? And Julian has this park and he said, I should be able to make money, but I still have to commit crime. What the fuck is going on? You got Leahy and Randy, and this is actually a cool part because Randy and Leahy, they fight. And the coolest part is that Leahy and Randy actually took a break. So then Leahy gets a problem with Donna, Barbs, and Candy. Like, please, Bobandy, help me. And then Bobandy's like, you're drunk. And then Leahy started to tell them, dude, I'm good. And Randy is very impressed, right? He's very impressed. He's very, very impressed because this is so good. This is so fucking good. Randy's impressed, but it's not enough. You had Bubble who started to be picked on, so he changed his old style, right? And it's so fucking cool because Bubble is like, yo, I'm a rude guy, I'm a gangster now. I'm a tough guy, Bubbles, and and it's so funny because they do a job. Julian, Bubbles, Ricky, T, and J-Rock, and then he's like, you could.
Fucking in. Fuck you, way.
That's the best.
I'm fucking into that, you know what I mean? I'm down with jobs. You want to make some real? You want to make money? Put it on my car.
Okay, this is funny.
Spot drinks, doubles. We'll just take it easy now.
It's still a gangster, but you know the whole Bubble is still there. Take it easy now. I love this. So we have Leahy who's being completely drunk, but the really cool thing was he's eating a bag of chips and he has fucking squirrel in it. And it's the whole thing of Ricky having a squirrel once again, which is fucking funny. I love that. Leahy is not doing well. He has to deal with the three girls, and the three girls are pushing him to drink. See, at first when you see Leahy, he's okay, right? Now the more you fuck with him, he's looking more and more to drink some more. How much I'm allowed to drink, right? And then the first thing that happened, and this is a beautiful thing, he's able to pace himself, he's able to control himself. The first thing that happened, the very, very, very first thing that happened is he's supposed to stay at 0.12, goes to 0.16. Close enough. And then it's the beginning of the shit again. With the boys wanting to do a job. You got Bubbles with his fucking new getup, which is gangster. I love that. We talk about the job that they want to do. Sarah and Lucy, they're like, I don't care if you do a job, but we have to be in the job. We have to make it in the job. You got MC, and it's really tough because MC's like, yo, I don't like my new mom. And Gerald's like, yo, please try. I need your support, right? And it's hard because he's trying to do something good, but isn't able to. Now, speaking of loud noise, today I have something really cool happen. So I go to my father's to pick up my phone because I left my phone to upload more. And I see the boys, Jordy and Gordy. So you don't know, Gordy and Jordy are people that I met via the Blood Moon. We were watching the Blood Moon, and it was pretty cool. I was like old friends, you know. So the job that they do is they steal a bike from the city. Now what is really cool is for the first time we have Sarah and Lucy being there, which is kind of cool because we have women representation. If you look at it before, no women, and I'm sorry to say that, but no woman was actually kind of part of the story. You know what was the biggest part? The biggest part was Lucy, but the biggest part with Lucy was back with Ricky or not. The biggest part of Trailer Park Boys, it was possibly Barb at some point, but Barb is the owner of the park, so it was never about the ladies of the park. It's just Trailer Park Girls, right? It finally is. Now we do have a cool scene with the security of the campus saying, "Hey, gotta take those bikes." But it's more so of Ricky being a bullshitting genius and negotiating and fucking them over with his Jedi mind trick. So it's interesting, but it's the same. It's interesting, but it's not. It's really in the sense of, hey, we see something that we haven't seen, but it's not in the sense of this is something that did I really need to see it? Not really. So we had the boys. Now we had the ultimate titty twister. Brandy's the first one to set up the candy, like because she's a woman, she can't fight, right? You can't fight a woman, and then you get his nipple twisted, in a really bad sense. You can see that he's there. And the funny thing is, last episode, Leahy went to ask for help from Randy. Randy wouldn't help him, so when Randy asked Leahy for help, like, nope, I'm not gonna help you, right? But then you see, this is such a sweet moment. And you see how bad they treat him, and he feels bad. Look at this. This is the sussest, gayest moments of Trailer Park series. You'd think it'd be Leahy and Randy fucking, but no. This is it. He's rubbing ointment on his tits. Yeah. And it gets really sexual. But then Randy's like, no, I'm not sure about how I feel about this. The boys, they go in and try to sell the bike. The cool thing is that we get some new characters. The good thing is we get Officer Pencilcock. We saw him in season 9 as the partner of appraisal. So the fact that we use these characters again is really nice, but they get a lowball offer, it doesn't work. They don't get enough. Then they have to sell the is that no, that's not it. So then Randy's like, yo, we have a really big problem, guys, try to stop them. But then because Julian's like, yo, protect the park, protect the entrance of the park. Nobody comes something that I don't want. So it's more so his problem. So now T, and I gotta love T here. I gotta love T. So T is kind of the uncle of MC Flurry by de facto. So then you're protecting MC Flurry. He's like, yo, this bitch is whack. And then J-Rock is like, no, she's not whack. She's my future wife, right? And then it sucks because he's like, J-Rock says it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And then T is like, is that the really best thing that happened to you? What about MC Flurry, right? So MC Flurry gets a girlfriend, and then J-Rock tries to act cool. But then MC Flurry says the truth. MC Flurry is like, yo, her family is normal. The boys are doing B&Es. And the B's and E's, this one is so fucking funny. Because, see, it's boring how every time that we meet a cop, Ricky is there to some situation in the same exact way. So it's boring. But this one is the fact that he's using something kind of funny. He's say, I saw a drunk guy, and I have a purple nipple. So then the police called him in. That's really fucking funny. It's really fucking funny. So they steal furniture, which is, again, something we saw. Lucy freaks out because Ricky was supposed to bring her on a job, but he said no. Now they're waiting. But Corey and Trevor are saying, hey, we hide the stuff, we hide it in the lake. They hide the electronic in the lake. So then Julian's like, okay, well, what can we do? We have to do another job. And then Ricky tells him, no, I can't do any jobs. So Julian's like, okay, well, fuck it. I can't take care of this. Enjoy not being here. And once again, it's Bubble that is the V team. He's the one that says to Julian, hey, please care. And Ricky's like, yo, try to understand Julian. And he tells Ricky, understand Julian, right? So it's really cool because this is what we saw. This is Trailer Park Boy, the same thing. The B&Es are not new. The fight between Ricky and Julian aren't new. Corey and Trevor, or Corey and Jacob fucking up, is not new. It's just that the stakes are higher. The stakes are higher, so same situation to be different problems. Which, as long as I'm doing something different, I don't care what, I'll accept it. I'll be happy about it, you know? I'll be happy about it. And then Julian finally tells Bubble, "You look like a fucking dick," right? And Bubble's like, "Okay, I can finally be myself," which is cool because the whole thing, I think, serves a couple of purposes. The first purpose itself, or it tries to solve at the very least, is that Bubble is insecure, which is normal. It's something that happens. I mean, the best of us, right? It's normal. But in this case, what is actually really cool is that the boys are like, "Yo, we like you the way you are. It doesn't really matter." So boys love actually fix the confidence of Bubbles, which is something we enjoy seeing, and that is pretty much it. Got season 10 episode 4. Well, this one after that I have to go to the lakeshore to film some stuff, and I'm back at around 8 or 10 filming this. We'll be filming the nature corner the whole time, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna do something new with the GoPro. That should be fun. Just for boys, a bunch of royalties. So then they talk about how they use all the money. They used all of the money for Trinity's wedding in Canada Water Park for Steinberg, and now we need to get the money back. We need to get the money back because now they look, like, and that's why Lucy was pissed. The problem is, you see, Ricky doesn't mind letting down people. He minds letting down Trinity. That's new. We got more Leahy and Randy, and it's fun because it's the first time. So see, Leahy and Randy being in this relationship is nice, but Leahy and Randy were in this relationship since season 1. We never saw the romance between Leahy and Randy. We know from the Christmas special that they used to be together because when Jim was a cop, Randy was a prostitute. We know that, but we never had this courting season or this flirting. Now we're getting that, and we're getting Leahy was really making an effort, actually making an effort to Randy. And it's such a good thing because it's Leahy not being a fucking drunken mess that makes it. And this is even more, and this is gonna sound very sus, but there's a chance that Leahy, when he's drunk, he's bisexual. When he's sober, he's straight. And Leahy might need the perfect thing for Randy. Drunk enough to know he's bi, but sober enough to treat Randy's right? So that's really cool. They get back together, which is really nice. The boys are just chilling, and they're looking for a plan. And he's seeing this hat from Sam Lasco, who now has a business. So it's like, well, if we steal from someone, we're going to be stealing from Sam. Because he said Steinberg asked for more money, and more money, and more money, which is, again, added pressure for the boys, right? There's no guarantee to win. They're talking about we need money, so they do the plan to steal from Sam. Now, the whole thing is fucked because they don't have any money from the wedding, so now there's even more. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing of Ricky saying, "Hey, I don't want to do the job because I promised you that I wouldn't do it." So they have a plan to steal from Sam. Now Ricky is not doing it, but Julian tricks him and say, "Hey, all we're gonna do is drive us, right?" And she says, "Lucy's like, yo, there's pizza. Go get some pizza." So you got Leahy buying some tent, which serves two purposes. It's again to show that Candy, Barbara, and Donna really took over him. But it's an old girl thing to see Leslie Dancer. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like Leslie Dancer in season 9. I love him in season 10. I love him in season 10 to a point where you don't have any idea. There's always neighbors talking. It's not like talking to me, and I don't want to disrespect them. So, he's trying to keep up, and Leslie trying to be a friend to Leahy, but it's like, no. Now they do the BME to the Denture King, which is also a business, and Sugar Park Boy Greasy Money. What ends up happening is they're having too much problem. Ricky ends up helping them, and Ricky ends up stealing the safe. So the safe is the way to do the job, right? They have problems. So what happened is they take the car and they fuck up the car. The car is Lucy's car. Now the cool thing with this is that Lucy, isn't the first time we're seeing Ricky with this car. So it's not like, oh my god, you got a car out of nowhere. He gets it out. Jacob admit that they used the money from the wedding. Now they're really pissed. Ricky fuck up the trailer. He fuck up the car. Leahy trying to do peace with the girls. It doesn't really work. So because Ricky fucks up the car, Lucy is pissed and she wants to break up with him. But Lucy says, Ricky, please be honest with me. right? I'm sick of you lying. Which is gonna show up with a more honest Ricky, which is weirdly an improvement for Ricky, right? Um, so then it's sad because this episode the whole thing is Druck's making mama joke, which is boring. Ricky eats ground pizza. See, I'm having fun. There's just so little to say versus lore-wise, right? But it's so fun. See, now Leahy start to drink a lot more, and this is when it happened that he has 0.16, so he's kind of drunk. They open up the safe, think there's gold inside. No, there's only rotten teeth. They have no money. There's more noise complaining. So then Randy do some favor for Ted, sexual favor. Now, what I love here, what I absolutely love here, is Steinberg, even though it's greasy, he has some good moments. So, for example, Ted comes in and says, "Hey, Denture King was robbed today. Do you know anything about that, Julian?" He's like, "No." And Steinberg free of charge says, "No, my client wasn't there. My client was there all day." And then Steinberg saved their asses. He's like, "We don't need to warrant to search your house." And he's like, "That's not my house. That's my business." So then he gets it, and then the plan to privatize the whole park is amazing. So privatizing the whole park is gonna bring in some really good scenes. For example, when it's gonna come out, you're not gonna be. You need warrants. You need search warrants, which is very important. There's more so you can smoke in a private space. So there's a lot of things that's going on that weren't going on before, and it's definitely an improvement from this series. Is it the best? No, but I'm telling you, season 10 was really enjoyable. Season 11 was a bit weak. Season 12 is perfect. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give you guys a ranking at the end of my favorite season. I'm gonna end here. We're doing good. We're doing 10.5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go chill a little bit. Go to the lakeshore. Then I'm gonna come back, and then when I come back, I'm gonna be making the video. I'm gonna be charging the 2 phones. That's gonna be pretty good, right? Sounds good. Sounds great. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Oh my god, a lot of work. 10.9, okay. Ooh. See, I would have not enough. Why aren't you uploading? Okay. Mm-hmm.